Oh, see, you know what? You're wrong for that.
About the Steelers.
Okay, see, Bashan, that's wrong. I was gonna tiptoe around the subject.
Great, I can take it.
Well, you know what? I remember growing up, especially during Thanksgiving, because the Cowboys would come on during Thanksgiving. And actually, where I'm from in Louisiana, we would get all of the Cowboys game and not the Saints game. We would only get the Saints game if the Cowboys were playing. And we would feel so sorry for Manning because he would get beat up all the time. The front line wasn't good.
Mhm.
But we would shell pecans. My mom and my grandmother would make pecan pie, and we would watch the Cowboys game. And I don't know if you're old enough, whenever you would go to the gas station, if you did a fill up, they would give you cowboy glasses.
Oh,
So my mom still has the complete set of cowboy glasses. They would give you the championship glasses from the division and also the Super Bowl championship glasses.
Oh, wow.
And it was those glasses that were round at the bottom, and then they had the high ones. But my mom and my grandmother had the entire collection.
Wow.
But we used to watch the Cowboys game. My older brother, big fan of the Cowboys game. He had the cap, he had the gloves, he had the scarf, and he had the jacket. And even when they would lose, he would still go to school wearing his Cowboys outfit. You should. But that was back in the day.
It may have been because you used my Steelers skin. To sign paperwork on Thursday.
I may have said something as I held it. But that was back in the day when Roger Staubach would play. And when Roger Staubach would play, they could be down by 30 points. You still thought they had a chance.
It's that good, yeah, Judge.
But I can't really feel sympathetic for you because the Steelers with Franco Harris, they would hurt us so many times.
They would.
It's a good weekend, Judge. Alabama lost the close.
Oh my gosh. And you guys will have to cheer on Jason because A&M won. All right, Scott.
They're all consecutive numbers.
Why are they in numerical sequence?
Because we indicted them all at the same time.
She's got the answer.
That was a comment to Don when he said they're consecutive numbers. So I retorted. All right, so I'm going to pull out again, Don, the two that he's not going to be pleading to are
The last two. Yeah.
2-6 and 2-7.
Consecutive.
You got your final answer. So what we have then are 4 cases, all styled Albert Andrus Lee. You're Mr. Lee. In 24 CR 1622, it's it looks like state jail felony of theft of property. 24 CR 1623, state jail felony theft of property. 24 CR 1624, state jail felony of evading arrest or detention. And finally, 24 CR 1625, state jail felony of theft of property. Does the defendant, who's here with Mr. Dusler, his attorney, and the state's attorneys here, waive a formal reading of these indictments and the arraignments in these cases? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir, we can.
Oh, my goodness.
They're very long indictments.
Yeah, they certainly are.
We only need the first 2 of the prior thefts and then the first 2 of his prior felony convictions.
So that makes them what?
Second
State
degree.
jail felonies punished as though they were second degree felonies.
Yes, that's correct.
In all the cases, the same?
Yes. Except for the evading is the same, they're just
An
different.
exception was in there.
The evading, he has the previous convictions to make it a state jail, and then it's also the previous felony convictions to make it a second degree as well. They're all punished as though they were second degree felonies.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, so they're all state jail felonies punished as though they were a second degree felony.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, that we'll take them up then collectively, since the punishment range will all be the same. Let me ask, the bottom line, what's the plan?
4 years TDC to run concurrent in all four.
Well, or is there a loss on all of this?
No, there's not.
These thefts?
All of them, the goods were bought back.
They were all small shoplifts and everything. Oh, yeah, everything was recovered.
So what's the point of us doing state jail felony punished as a second degree felony? Do we have a third degree felony in there?
Not to my knowledge, because
And the way this
because
is.
they were all,
We didn't have any state jails to enhance them. We only had second degrees and third degrees to enhance them.
But there's a set of the offense, and then the second paragraph in each case are allegations of other crimes. It looks like.
Right, these are all misdemeanors
Yes,
enhanced
misdemeanors.
to state jails, and then the state jails are enhanced by his priors, which make it a second degree. There was no way to make it a third degree.
So. Kind of a word this right. It's more of a general comment of what we're doing up here in the first place, and what message we send and how we handle cases. So on Mr. Lee here, the last what we're looking at, like, for example, in 24 CR 1625 is a substantive offense of theft, and then 20 prior convictions, 20 prior convictions that is being used, and at 4 years in prison. And I just wonder what message we send, and why we're working so hard for a 4-year sentence, when, as you know, he won't be long. And the question is has his criminal history proven enough for us to be more serious? But, yeah. Look at it. I guess they threw him out of Travis County and Harris County, where he has prior convictions recently. And then, what do we, what's the message we send, which is what we do in every case?
The reason
20 prior convictions, 20. And, one that, and it was handled in Harris County, it was like, and Travis County, just in the last year or so, for more criminality. Let's see, here, November 9th of 2023, that was, what, 6 months ago. Harris County, he gets convicted in county criminal court there. In Travis County, it was in 22. Harris County, 22. Harris County, 22. And so he gets right out of jail. And then in May of this year, he's committing more crimes here. I mean, that's what he does. He was a career offender 15 convictions ago. So we're looking at up to 20 years. So why do we think 4 years is the right message to send?
4 years, Your Honor.
Does that deter crime, or does it send a message? If you're a criminal, this is where you shop in this county.
The reason that the state offered the 4 was that in each of these cases, Your Honor, the thefts were less than $70. And one of them, the theft was only for a $5 soap. And given that the thefts were small and that all of them were recovered at the time of the incident, even given his priors, the state thought that 4 years was
There's an
fair.
evading arrest or detention here.
Yes, that's
How about that one? What about that? What's the what's the minimization on that?
He fled on foot, Your Honor, and he was caught very quickly.
Yes.
Huh?
Okay. All right. I just have a hard time giving presentations in public places where people ask, why are we the 22nd largest county with the 14th highest crime rate in the state? And what are we doing about it? You think we're doing okay with this? With this one? Is this, or is this the haven people go to if they're a criminal? You know, really, you're supposed, idea is you're supposed to be punished more severely for each successive act because you're not getting it. 20 convictions. It's 20 convictions. Thou shalt not steal. You've heard of that one. Okay. So, yes, sir. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I just got us pretty much about that. I am all of that.
Sir? So your brother just died. What are you saying? So that's a celebration to commit the crimes? Well, I don't know. So what you're paying? What do you understand? None of that's, those are normal things that happen in everybody's life, and we just don't run out and pillage and steal and and run from police because of every day we have good times and bad times. But you know that it has accountability. You've been incarcerated 20 separate times. Oh, well,
I realize what you're saying, wrong. This shows that there was some, y'all played from 2015.
See the way you even speak, it's career criminal. I got off paper. You know what? There's a right way. There's a different way to say that, but that's slang for someone who has been in the system and has been prosecuted so many times. And that's the way you speak is you use you use vernacular and a language style that is used in prison.
Yes, sir.
I'm on paper. I'm on paper. Nobody in the free world uses that term, but it's because you've been in prison for so long.
Beat myself up, and and I realized just because of what I just said, it don't mean nothing. That I'm looking at stars and a box behind that.
Well, you can imagine. Okay, these are four more. You're about to pick up four more convictions. You're about to pick up four more felony convictions. Will now make a quarter of 100. A quarter of 100. You don't see anything wrong with that.
Yes, so I do.
Well, if your choices, it's all about your choices that you make. This is just exercising futility right now. But really, the thing is you've shown that you're just destined not to follow the rules.
Yes, so I am.
I mean, that's what you've shown. It's a consistent pattern, and these aren't going to make a difference, except you'll be out sooner to harm others. Because all of these are harming others. Oh, now? All of a sudden? What's the epiphany that's happened in your life? Why would you make a change now? It hadn't changed in the past. You're gonna have to forgive me if I just go, yeah. I bet you said that to the other 20 judges that you were in front of. Oh, you'll never see me again, and this is going to be different. Well, it's futile. But there are other cases we have to work on, and this is just the definition of insanity. Doing things, thinking it's a change, and realizing they really won't, but you keep doing the same thing, and that's what we do. Send you out, revolving door. Which is lead other victims to be harmed. Does the defendant with formal readings of these four indictments, can we proceed in sign?
Yes, sir. More than a question? Yeah. Okay. We can go back. Resident outside? Yes. Resident building. They'll say.
Oh, and we're going to take these up in a consecutive, but together, and we will work on it in numerical fashion. 1622 theft, state jail felony, theft of property. 24. 1623 is state jail felony, theft of property. 24. 1624 is evading arrest or detention. And 24 CR 1625 is theft of property. Each of these allege in numerical fashion that on or about May 4th, May 16th, May 16th.
And it's on the first floor. It's just a separate. And you'll see. And
on or about June 19th, 2024, consecutively in Jefferson County, Texas, with respect to each of these four numbers. That in you committed the state jail felony of theft.
We pick on. We're gonna pick on.
In 1622, state jail felony of theft. 1623, state jail felony of theft, and 1624, and I'm sorry, evading arrest or detention in 1624, and state jail felony of theft in 1625. And in each of the thefts, paragraph 1 alleges theft, and paragraph 2 alleges numerous prior theft convictions, dating back to 1990. 2023 out of various counties in the state of Texas. Each of those are state jail felonies, paragraphs 1 and 2. And this is just more trouble. And paragraph 3 alleges you have in each of these theft cases. Paragraph 3 alleges second-degree felony robbery conviction in this court in 1987. Thereafter, paragraph 4 goes on to allege thereafter that was final, you committed felony of illegal possession of controlled substance and were convicted of that out of the criminal district court of Jefferson County, Texas. So in those 3 cases, 1622, 1623, and 1624, paragraphs 1 and 2 constitute a state jail felony. 3 and 4 in successive prior felony convictions in sequence means that you're facing a punishment range of a second-degree felony. Finally, 24 CR 1624, the evading arrest or detention. Boy, this is frustrating. And paragraphs 1 and 2 constitute the state jail felony because paragraph 2, you have a prior conviction of evading arrest or detention, and then paragraphs 3 and 4 as well allege the 1987 and 1989 convictions out of the criminal district court, similarly as the other cases. So you're looking at state jail felonies punished as though they were second-degree felonies, and you're looking at no less than 2, nor more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. And agreements have been reached where you would be sentenced to 4 years in prison, which is, you'll have now 24 convictions, and you're just looking at 4 years prison, which you've been in custody, and you'll get time for all credit. Do you understand what you're charged with, the punishment range, and is this the agreement that's been reached in each case? So if I follow these agreements, you have no right of appeal. How do you plead in each of these cases, guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? And the prior convictions in paragraph 2 of in each case, are those all true and correct as they are alleged, and are you pleading true and correct to those voluntarily? And finally, paragraphs 3 and 4 in each case, the prior 1987 and 89 sequential convictions of robbery and a possession of a controlled substance out of this criminal district court, are those allegations true and correct as they are alleged, and are you pleading true and correct to those voluntarily? I show you what's marked here in each case as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign those documents voluntarily? Understand them, discuss them with your attorney, or the contents true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 is tendered without objection admitted. This states you were mentally competent to enter your pleas of guilty and to do what you're freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictments have been read to you. You've read them. You were guilty of the crime charged, and any lesser included offense that you have given of your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination, witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, so help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence reports are waived.
Yes, sir.
If nothing further, I'm going to find in each of these cases you have pleaded guilty and true to paragraphs 1 and 2, which constitute state jail felonies in each of these 4 cases. And then paragraphs 3 and 4, the prior convictions in sequence, increase the punishment range to a second degree felony, and you have pleaded true to all of those voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. I now find you guilty of these state jail felonies, punished as though they were second degree felonies. I am following the agreements in each case. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the state jail. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years in each case to run concurrently. You understand what has happened in each of these cases?
Yes.
All right.
It's like we're just chasing our tail. What do you intend to do differently?
So, well, just, but it's more like we're restoring you on the it's just much more like
These are all, I got to redo all these papers because these are, you got them as state jail, second degrees, but they're state jail felonies. Punished as though they were a second degree. What were you saying, sir? You were kind of mumbling.
We want to see the extent of it.
Look, you're a transient and all. What are you going to do to try to focus on something in your life that's good?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Most definitely.
Anything else? No, sir. I'm sorry. That's all, Tom. That's all I had.
It's a